God knows what Tony Khan is paying that dude. So if you're paying me that kind of money, I am going to wave the AEW banner, bro.
Right? Mercedes Moné was doing the same
exactly. I was just going to say that, Chris. Exactly. This guy's paying us like we've never been paid before. We're going to wave the banner.
All right, let's talk about Will Ospreay taking a big shot at WWE. He said, I think we're better than all of them. Honestly, on my worst day, I'm better than a lot of the guys in ring. Promo-wise, they've got a lot of guys. Punk's sick. Reigns is sick. Bruv, he is not, I'm saying this, but I'm thinking of him saying bruv. There are still things I need to catch up on, but in ring, I don't think anyone on that side matches up to our guys. So let's start with you, EC3. If you're reading a comment or if you're looking at an interview with Will Ospreay saying this and saying that, hey, AEW has the advantage in ring compared to the WWE, what does that really mean in your brain? Does that even mean anything? What's
no. It's kind of an unnecessary, like, D measure, really. Like, Ospreay's incredible in the ring. Some of the things he can do, but it's to a certain sect, right, or like a niche in a sense, that if produced and controlled in a sense could be more maximized. Again, it's kind of harken back to the simplicity, not being, taking the night off. Simplicity is extremely hard work if you do it right. And then perhaps in a 18 by 18 or 20 by 20 foot ring, you are superior at moving around and doing things. But what really matters? And if that's your priority, congratulations. But the priority over here is to do business. And so it's kind of it's an unnecessary kind of swing. And two, you got to think about a lot of top level talents. And even when you talk about guys like Hulk or Cena, they can do the same things. They just don't. And maybe because they don't do them as well and they don't want to expose that as a weakness. Tell suicide dive, okay? I remember, I think I've told the story a dozen times. I'll tell it again. I'm working with Daniel Bryan. We're both on the same team in the crap era of NXT. And I do a suicide dive, so do you. Let's do stereo ones. He's like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. And here we go. We do the suicide dives. Boom. I'm like, hell yeah, doing suicide dives with Daniel Bryan. This is great. Watch the match back. We both do the movement and the motion, but I'm like, why does his look better? I don't know. Was it the way he commits? Is it the way he accelerates? We're doing the same thing, but his is better. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that again if I'm in a match with him because he's doing it better. And in fact, everybody else is doing it too. So why should I do it? So harken all the way back to that. Top tier wrestlers, especially in the WWE, most of them can work at an extremely high level with extremely different capabilities too, where it comes to pacing, cardio, aggression, realism, physicality with purpose. So it's an unarguable kind of subject matter. It got clicks and we're talking about it and it got attention, which is the most important thing a pro wrestler can do is get attention. So he succeeded at that. To me though, hearing that, I'd be like, yeah, you do some really cool things. And that thing you do off the top, I can't do that anymore because my body's shot. But I don't care because I'm over here doing business.
Yeah. Vince, well said, by the way, EC3. Vince, what's your take on that, man?
I think he's just waving the EC3, the AEW banner.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I think that's all he's doing. And bro, let me tell you something. God knows what Tony Khan is paying that dude. So if you're paying me that kind of money, I am going to wave the AEW banner, bro.
Right? Mercedes Moné was doing the same
exactly. I was just going to say that, Chris. Exactly. This guy's paying us like we've never been paid before. We're going to wave the banner.
Yeah.
And you should. You should
Yeah,
have
you
that
should.
pride,
You should. I agree.
you know,
Yeah.
like, and that's cool. But then maybe it's a self-reflection too, because let's say the people he's speaking to, majority either already think that or will believe him. But is that encapsulating growth and new fans? No, I don't think so. I don't think somebody who kind of likes wrestling is like seeing a Will Ospreay. Oh, this guy says they're better there. Well, let's watch it. You know, I don't think that's reaching out to. It's not growing. It's doing what it's intended to do, having people talk about it and support his brand. But I don't think it does that. I'm not saying it's wrong either, because what was the point? Why did he do it? Because we're talking about it.
Yeah, I think that goes back to the escapism in the character, though, because I think the shot is constantly the fans chanting, "This is awesome," and "Holy bleep," and all those things. Because at the end of the day, if I'm Will Ospreay and I know that I'm getting a high off of doing these spots and getting this fan reaction, I'm getting paid 6 to 7 figures, right? And I'm going in with these matches and I'm creating this art in my head and getting this infectious, this reaction, this dopamine reaction from these fans that is like a high. Of course, I want to say something very, very positive about AEW because they're giving him the opportunity to do that. As opposed to WWE, they wouldn't. I mean, there's most likely WWE wouldn't give him the opportunity. Now, there's a lot of, again, damage to human psychology that we can talk about, but from a money standpoint, Will Ospreay is probably much happier in the AEW than he would be in the WWE because he has the opportunity to escape in those matches from life.
And at the same concept too, he admitted his weaknesses, where to truly be great, you tackle your weaknesses and don't just rely on your strengths. So if he was put in that position and he's forced, you got to go do a 15-minute promo with Cody and you got to deliver these lines with intent and make people react. And he'd be like, I just kind of want to elbow a dude in the head. Can I just do that instead? No, like, you could do that. We know that, but we need this.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep, indeed. Well, hey, man.
Yeah, real fast. I will say this though: him coming over in AEW to the American audience like a fresh talent who looks cool and has all this energy and does all these amazing things. I don't think they did him a good service in how they portrayed him, because if I was booking that show, he would be the top babyface, and red hot right now. So, good wrestling, being great in the ring is one thing, but that dude should be the top guy, attracting new eyeballs and built around him. And commercials were like, look at this handsome English guy do amazing things. And it's just he is that good. He's one of the best in the ring. And I think the pro wrestling ability to he wants to be here with everybody, but if he could just be more selfish, I think he could be up here. That's it.
Fair. What's the shelf life of someone like a Will Ospreay and like a Darby Allin, though, as far as just physicality? I mean, Darby Allin has a character. Will Ospreay doesn't really have a character. He's amazing in the ring, but he doesn't really have a character, though. What's the shelf life on someone like that?
I guess as long as you can do it, because it's hard to say with so many different. The individualism you would preach is Jeff Hardy did the craziest things for how long, and he never got hurt. And then he takes a bad dirt bike ride and, blows his knee up. So
I mean, he was hurt much more mentally than physically, though. I mean, he was all on substances, to try to relieve that pain. So
I think
I'd rather have a broken leg than a broken brain and a broken mind any day of the week.
I think Will has a great character because we're talking about him and he's speaking it into an interview. And I think he's not working on that strength to translate it to people. So in 3 to 5 years where, my ankle sprained, I got my left meniscus is torn, but I still have to work. the character can't carry it unless he works on that. Because the dude's like sharp, he's witty, he's unique. Like when you have a conversation with him, his character, like he has a character, can he portray it in the best light? And maybe it's not sending him out there with the microphone to like do the dopamine reactions and say the things that get real reactions, but like putting them in positions to grow as that aspect, a character. I don't want to say acting, but like, because we're embellishments of ourselves. So how can somebody bring that out of him? And will he get it there? Because again, we're all even and we're all cool and we're all friends and we all like good wrestling. Well, that's great. But who's gonna push you to the next level, even if you don't like him, but you can do great things with him?
Yep, 100%, man. And I think the emphasis on that character, the more they spend time on that, the more it gives them an opportunity to scale back on trying to get that fan reaction by his athleticism. Because if you're doing that with so many people from AEW, you're doing that to get that fan reaction, and it's what's called the Coolidge effect. Like it plateaus here, and then you have to raise it up to get the same type of reaction. It has to feel new, or it has to feel like a novelty in order to get that non-plateau reaction again. And then it plateaus, and then you has to feel new or novelty again, or different or extreme, and then it gets a plateau again. So the problem, I mean, we see that all the time when it comes to AEW, and those wrestlers are risking their lives being those walking, talking puppets of the fan reactions, and they have to plateau the fan reactions every single time, man. That's very, very dangerous for somebody's body. So we shall see where this goes, bruv. Until then, we have EC3, we have Vince Russo. I am Dr. Chris. This is the Wrestling Outlaws. Have a good night, everybody. So